On behalf of Coursera, welcome. I'm Marne Baker Stein, Chief Content Officer. Thank you to EdHeroes for creating this essential space to talk about the future of education and technology. It's really an honor to be here with all of you. Today in my talk, I really want to address three things. First, the problem, why our learning systems must scale and evolve to meet growing and changing demand. Second, the progress that we're all making together in expanding access to job-relevant skills everywhere. And finally, the innovation, and that's new products and real-world case studies that show what's possible with you when you integrate AI and generative AI into learning systems themselves. These, I'm sure you all know, are the UN Sustainable Development Goals. This is a global blueprint for peace, prosperity, and progress. And we believe that education touches every single one of these. When we expand access to education, we reduce inequity. We unlock economic opportunity. We improve gender equality, and we transform entire communities. And this is important because we're living in an era of unprecedented digital transformation. I mean, look at how long it took for different technologies to reach 100 million users. Electricity took 70 years. Mobile took 16 years. The web, 7. And then came ChatGPT, which reached 100 million users in just 2 months. And now 400 million weekly active users. We've never seen anything like this. And this change is reshaping work. The World Economic Forum data tells us that 39% of key skills in jobs across sectors will change by 2030. We must equip people to succeed in a world that won't stop evolving. This pace of change is here to stay. If the global workforce were 100 people, 59 in this context would need retraining by 2030. But 11 of them, and I think this is an optimistic number, this is if all goes well, 11 of them, due to limited access, may never get that chance. Online learning is already playing a powerful role in assisting all of this. But there are still limitations. One of those is internet access. And frankly, that's a problem now, but even that's changing rapidly. Nearly half of the 2.6 billion people today without internet access will be online in 5 years. So we are seeing the infrastructure emerge. It's going to allow us to grapple with these challenges. And it's really important that we do grapple with these challenges because we're already seeing seismic shifts in the demand for AI skills that are truly reshaping the job market, like while we're watching live. In 2025, 1 in 4 tech jobs in the US require AI skills. This is up from fewer than 1 in 10 just 2 years ago. And we're seeing similar evolutions across sectors, not just tech sectors, but education and health and business, banking as well. The future is coming fast, and learners and employers and universities are racing to keep up. And this is a real challenge for higher education. Even though, and I'll start with the US, even though US higher ed is considered world-class, confidence is eroding amongst parents and learners and the public. Gallup reports only 36% of Americans have confidence in higher ed. This is down 20 points since 2015. And why? Mostly it's about a lack of alignment between education and employment. Learners aren't gaining the skills they need. They know it. Their parents know it. And they're not willing to pay for a credential that they feel does not have future employment value. And demographics are compounding this issue. The number of US 18-year-olds will drop sharply starting next year, and they'll stay low for a decade. And frankly, even then, they will not recover to today's rates. One college in this context is closing every week. Survival and relevance means rethinking audiences, rethinking missions, and rethinking programming to better align with the needs of learners and employers. And this is a global problem. This isn't just a US issue. It's everywhere. QS found that in 85% of countries, there's a gap between what education systems teach and what employers really need now. So in this context, curricula and programming and the whole structure of education must evolve urgently. So how does Coursera partner on this? How do we help you solve for these challenges? At Coursera, and particularly in my function in the content engine at Coursera, we start with trusted content that aligns with the skills people need today to thrive in their careers. This begins with branded content from really trusted partners that we'll talk about. Right now, we have over 9,800 courses, with over 1,800 courses in AI alone. We deliver these courses to learners on our consumer platform and enterprise customers. We have over 175 million registered learners from all over the world and over 6,200 customers through our enterprise business that include big companies, the largest and most innovative universities from around the planet, and many governments as well. At the heart of what we do is our creator ecosystem. At Coursera, we have some of the most creative and trusted content creators in the world that include 350 plus partners that range across the world's greatest universities like Duke and Penn and Michigan and Stanford and Yale and many, many more. As well as many of the world's top employers and industry partners like Google, Meta, IBM, Adobe, Procter & Gamble, and I could just go on. It's amazing the number of partners that we have in this effort to bring these valued courses and credentials to learners everywhere. And that's our platform that gives us reach and data and technology and a flywheel of goodness to help you as you're solving problems for learners everywhere. Let's talk about how we use this capability and this flywheel to meet real learner needs and to meet them dynamically. So here on the left, you'll see the most in-demand skills in the world today. And these have been identified by the World Economic Forum, and they range from obviously tech skills like AI and big data and networks and cybersecurity to truly enduring human skills like analytical thinking and curiosity and lifelong learning. On the right, these are some of the world-class courses offered on Coursera that really help learners to build out those skills, from AI to resilience and from tech literacy to leadership and everything in between. You can see there are many industry partners among this set, but I want to emphasize that universities are still critical and foundational to the teaching of both tech and these human enduring skills that will define success in the age of AI. And AI is really exploding. Nothing is growing faster than generative AI on our platform in terms of learner demand. In 2023, we had 1 enrollment per minute. In 2024, we had 8 per minute. In 2025, we have 12, and we haven't even hit peak demand yet. What's fueling it? Well, media attention, job market pressure across, as I mentioned, every sector, not just tech, and our expanding catalog. We have hundreds, over 700 Gen AI focused content launches that we've put out into the world over the last year from top partners. And these range from foundational courses like Gen AI for Everyone to specialized ones like Gen AI in Education. It's really focused on the needs of teachers as they're grappling with how to incorporate Gen AI into their everyday practices. This ecosystem is deep, it's diverse, and it's growing. Another major trend has been entry-level professional certificates. Because of the speed of change across many, many different employment contexts, and because employers need qualified applicants now, we have seen a massive increase in the enrollment of these professional certificates where no degree is required and where industry leaders like Google and AWS and IBM have created educational programs that prepare learners for real jobs and real job tasks. 1/3 of these carry credit recommendations, enabling academic pathways globally. That is, if you finish one of these certificates, you get a credit recommendation that you can take with you as you're enrolling in degree programs. And millions of learners have already enrolled. In fact, over 15 million cumulative enrollments to date in these powerful programs. But it's not just about numbers. It's about people. So I'd really love to give you a chance to hear from one of our learners, Knefra Carter, who is a Google Career Certificate graduate.
My life would be completely different without the Google Career Certificate. I lost my job due to COVID, and I needed something that would help me today. The biggest benefit of the Google Career Certificate was getting that stamp of approval now, something that could validate me right away so that I could turn that around immediately for my kids. I was told that the Google Career Certificate would take 6 months to complete, and I did it in 6 weeks.
Put your skills to work with a Google Career Certificate.
I love that. There's nothing like hearing from our learners. And as you can see with some of these certificates, while we recommend for 6 months to complete them, if you have the time, motivation, and ambition, you can do it, as Knefra did, much more quickly. Trend that we're seeing is that these same micro-credentials or professional certificates are really reshaping both hiring and higher ed. We just recently released our Microcredentials Impact Report for 2025. And what we're seeing is that microcredentials are driving both employer confidence and student demand. So globally, 85% of employers who are more likely to hire a candidate with a microcredential, and not only are they more likely to hire, in many cases, they will pay more. And what they're saying is these microcredentials vastly reduce the onboarding time for these new employees to get to it and really start thriving in the jobs they're hired for. And I think equally interesting is that employers are starting to understand the currency of these micro-credentials and really understanding that employees who have them have the right kinds of proficiencies and maybe even the right kinds of ambitions to really do well in the workforce. So we're really happy to see the currency of these credentials rising. It's long been a question, and we're super excited to see this trend evolve. On the student side, it's also really interesting that students are starting to recognize that, hey, I really need a degree, but I also want credentials embedded in my degree that count toward not only the credit requirements for that program, but also start to qualify me for that job. And these are students across tech and business, the liberal arts, and the social sciences who found their passion in their degree program, but really want to turn that passion into job relevance. And they are especially interested when Gen AI is part of that package, because they realize, like all of us do, that that's the future. Along this line, we work with degree providers everywhere, both through Coursera for Campus as well as hosting many degrees online. And what we're seeing is that degrees are changing fast. They're becoming more accessible, more flexible, more career aligned, more focused on that adult working professional learner population that's so critical for the future. And what we're seeing is 3 models are really leading the way. One of these models is sort of this open competency-based model where learners do not have to pre-qualify, and as they're moving through the program, they're actually defining their path and building their credits through earning competencies. And we are really proud of our Illinois Tech MBA that's built in this way. We're also seeing a lot of universities like the University of London allow for prior learning credit for professional certificates offered online, like our Google IT certificate that is incorporated into their degree pathways. And finally, we're also seeing a lot of stackable pathways like CU Boulder's data science series, where CU Boulder is actually offering entry-level on-ramps in online formats on Coursera that allow that learner to start to experience the program in an online setting before they enroll in the degree, and then that experience and that credit carries over. We believe this is the future, that degrees must blend traditional value with modern relevance, and these partners are leading the way at sort of creating that hybrid experience between skills-based micro-credentials and that critical degree credential that's still trusted by so many employers. And so, as content evolves, the experience must evolve too. And I'm super excited about this because not only are we seeing the evolution of content demand, but, and we're seeing that like specifically in AI and Gen AI, context, but we're also experiencing the revolution ourselves as AI is pretty radically transforming the learning experience and what the learning experience can do and be and feel like into the future. Coursera has launched many Gen AI features on our platform, and we were very early out with this, launching many of these just 120 days of ChatGPT's release. So these have been on the market now and evolving really nicely. I'd like to go just through a few of them. The first is AI translations. It used to be that translations were super expensive to execute on. Now with AI, these translations are really increasing global access, and we can do it in ways that are really scalable and economically possible. We have translated 5,200 courses in over 26 languages, and that's every aspect of the course, from the videos to the readings to the interactions with Coach, which we'll talk about in a minute. And that has gone from a cost of about $13,000 per course to provide this kind of translation to $20 to $25 per course. And so this has allowed us to provide a kind of access that frankly 2-3 years ago we couldn't even have imagined would have ever been possible. We also have Coursera Coach, which we're super excited about. This is our AI tutor, and it really personalizes and contextualizes learning. You can see a little bit of the interaction, the kind of interaction you have with Coach here. What we found is not only is it really engaging, it boosts quiz pass rates and learning efficiency, particularly in our most underserved and underrepresented learner populations like women or learners who have gaps in their previous academic background or very early in their educational experience. We are very proud of where we are with Coach, and we just won the Newsweek AI Impact Award on this front as well. And we're seeing great levels of satisfaction. We're seeing great levels of retention being driven by Coach, and we're just getting started. I love this quote from Bonji, who's a learner in the US. He says, "Coach has been a game changer on how I approach my learning on Coursera. It's an invaluable tool that can guide you every step of the way." And this is really powerful. And it bodes well, I think, for the future of AI-powered learning experiences that are just increasingly personalized and contextualized, not only to your academic background, not only to the struggles you may be having with your learning path or conceptually with some of the content that's in front of you, but also to help you understand how what you're learning is relevant to the goals that you have for your life and your career and your future. So that's Coach. We also have Course Builder, which we're also incredibly encouraged by. Course Builder is a authoring tool for faculty who are teaching in our enterprise courses that allows faculty to very quickly create learning objectives, create assessment items that are psychometrically sound, and then curate content from Coursera as well as their own content vaults to create really cool, very pedagogically sound courses based on what they want to teach, in a fraction of the time that it would have taken before. So we're really excited about Course Builder and its ability to accelerate course creation and customization and optimization over time as faculty learn what's working and what's not working for learners. And so we're seeing, 2.8 times increase in institutional offering and lots of enrollments in these courses that are getting out there faster. And I think at a higher level of quality than ever before. I love this quote from Jessica from the Universidad University in Peru. Its Course Builder has catalyzed significant growth and allowed us to provide cutting-edge education that adapts to the individual needs of our students. And that's true. And that's exciting. And again, this is just the start. We can imagine what these tools are going to look like 6 months or a year from now. Of course, it's not just about content and it's not getting content out there faster. It's not just about personalization, but we want to make sure that the academic integrity that we're promoting across of these AI assisted courses is maintained as well. We want to make sure that we're preventing misconduct in high stakes credentials and all of our courses, particularly in an age where AI is so accessible to so many of our learners. So we've created capabilities on our platform that limit access to unauthorized resources in high stakes scenarios, like when learners are taking tests and exams, that control online environments to prevent low effort behavior where people are sort of copying and pasting between AI tools and their course experience, that help our faculty to identify plagiarism in tests themselves and really understand the originality of submissions and really begin to assess true understanding of what is being assessed, which I think is the most important evolution as well. We've had academic integrity promoting learning in over 6.4 million courses. And what we've seen is a 75% reduction in low effort course completions and 80% reduction in plagiarized submissions and a 90% reduction in misconduct with proctoring, which is very exciting and important. This is one of our partners from iPeople in the Philippines. iPeople tripled Coursera adoption to 45,000 students, thanks to AI tools that uphold academic integrity and build trust in every learning outcome. And this is important, of course, to students, but it's also important to faculty adoption as well. Because as we know, many faculty are rightly skeptical about AI as a cheating engine. And we want to make sure that AI is not only a problem, but it is part of the solution as we're creating high integrity environments for learning into the future. We're, of course, beyond all that I've just described, moving forward into the future of AI. And one of the capabilities we're super excited about that's coming next is AI dubbing. Translation, as I discussed, was the first step. Dubbing is the next frontier. Now learners can not only read translations, but they can hear technical content in their native language. They can develop professional fluency across borders, and they can understand better as well as get that proficiency that they need to operate in the context and in the regions where they live. By the end of this year, we'll reach the top 1,000 courses in AI dubbing. And I thought I'd let you watch this in action with a demonstration from Coursera's co-founder, Andrew Ng.
Say hello, hola, bonjour, and hallo to learning in your language on Coursera. Discover over 100 AI dubbed courses from IBM, Microsoft, and Deep Learning AI. Easily switch from English.
AI is changing the way we work and live.
To Spanish.
La IA está cambiando la forma en que trabajamos.
French.
L'IA change notre façon de travailler et de vivre.
Or German.
KI verändert, wie wir arbeiten und leben.
Enjoy seamless AI dubbing with matching subtitles in select courses as you gain essential skills and valuable credentials for high-demand career fields. Get learning that speaks your language on Coursera.
I just can't get over that. And I'm super excited about it because we know from our research that many learners really appreciate the translations that they can read through the subtitles, but the AI dubbing reaches many more learners, and I think really develops, again, that academic and professional proficiency in multiple languages that's so important for our global future. Another area that we're really excited about is we've begun to develop new pedagogical items. In the past, we had videos, we had readings, we, of course, have practice activities, but now we have AI-powered dialogues that are almost like Socratic dialogues with a coach around very targeted subjects that are being taught within the course. And that coach can not only walk learners through in a very personalized way in those subjects, but it can also start to assess where they are and sort of modulate that instruction along the way. Very powerful and very sticky for learners who seem to be really enjoying that type of interaction as they're learning. And finally, we're really diving into a new way to actually organize how learners find their way around the Coursera platform. We were in the past simply a catalog. If you knew what you were looking for, you could find it on Coursera, but we're really starting to understand the importance of surfacing windows on career opportunities to learners. So when they come to Coursera, they can explore those careers, they can explore those roles, click in, learn more about the opportunities that those roles present them, as well as identify courses and credentials that will prepare them for readiness in those roles into the future. And this is just all what I like to call Coursera's transformation from a catalog to a compass that's really guiding learners to career opportunity and providing windows that they may not have in their homes or in their communities. This is work that we're doing on consumer, but it's also work that we're doing with our Coursera for Campus customers. And those are universities around the world who are figuring out incredibly creative ways to integrate some of these capabilities, the content, the learning experience, and some of these windows into jobs that I've been describing. We've been helping universities around the world to strengthen student employability by integrating Coursera into their degree programs. And you can see from this list, this is a broad spectrum of universities, not only geographically, but in terms of size, in reach, and in disciplinary focus. If we take the University of Texas system as an example, University of Texas system is offering microcredentials for credit at scale. They've offered what we call our Career Academy, which is our collection of professional certificates to students, faculty, staff, and alumni at no cost to ensure that learners and staff are broadly educated and specifically skilled. And they are implementing this across 14 public universities and health institutes. They have 25,000 learners enrolled in professional certificates and 37,000 courses completed. And they're really just getting started there. It's quite remarkable. We also are working with iPeople, which I shared the quote earlier. They are working on building accessible for-credit courses and micro-credentials, again, into their curriculum, offering training to students across 6 schools, from law to multimedia to education. And these are not only include AI skills, but ML skills, data analytics, and other fresh tech content. 45,000 students have access to Coursera through this program. 20 to 30% of their academic credits in their programs are earned through these professional certificates and courses on Coursera. And that has so far totaled over 1.2 million learning hours. So we're super excited about the impact that that's having at iPeople for learners who are more and more ready through the programs they're enrolled in to take on the present and the future of work. Finally, we have an example from government that we're super excited about. we have a Ministry of Science and Higher Education that's partnered with Coursera to equip students and faculty with essential skills by integrating and translating courses into curricula across universities nationally in Kazakhstan. So this is 100 plus public universities that are involved in this project that are offering 850 plus courses for credit, most of them translated to local languages. And they've seen over 350,000 certificates of completions in programs and courses that are tightly, deeply aligned with the economic growth trajectory of that region. So I end just by saying, you know, something that's said often, and I don't think it can be said enough, that talent is equally distributed, but opportunity is not. At Coursera, we truly believe that online learning can and must bridge that gap. Particularly today when that gap is shifting and changing and growing at a faster rate of pace than we've ever seen before. In that context, I hope we'll all make sure every learner everywhere has access to the skills and opportunities they need to thrive today and into the future. Thank you so much for your time.